Hi, I'm Wesley Walker of the New York Jets, former All-Pro wide receiver. You're watching Bridge to Health at Madhousetv.com.
Finally, the time has come. You no longer have to choose between conventional medicine and alternative medicine. Today, unlike years past, your team of doctors from all disciplines are working together side by side for the benefit of you, the patient, to help you regain your health and cross the bridge.
Hi again. Welcome back to the Bridge to Health. My name is Dr. Tom Dow. And each week we have a guest from a different healthcare discipline that's part of our team of healthcare providers to help you, the patient. Years and years ago, there was conventional medicine and there was alternative medicine. Each thought that their fields, both alternative and conventional, were superior to each other. So there was always this fighting back and forth. Oh, no, you need a medical doctor. No, you should go to a massage therapist or a acupuncturist. That is no longer present today. In all of our office locations, we have teams of healthcare professionals from both alternative and conventional working together as a team, giving you, the patient, the best possible care that we can and combining everything we need to give you the best chance of regaining your health and crossing the bridge. In the past, we've had mainly conventional doctors here. Now we're going to start to go to the more alternative, more holistic practitioners in the next few shows. So today, I'd like to introduce Kemi Nahal. Hi, Kemi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
She's also known by Dear Spirit. How did you get into Reiki? I mean, when did you start doing this? Tell us a little background about yourself.
I started Reiki after I gave birth to my son, which was, he's 17 now, a little bit over 17. And I find that as I practice it, I find out more and more how it's so beneficial for my life. I met a friend who were practicing Reiki. She was a Reiki master, and she introduced me into Reiki. I wasn't even thinking about becoming a Reiki master or pursuing it. I was experimenting with it. And I found out the more I got more involved with it, I saw the benefit of it. It just led me into getting to second level Reiki and then becoming a master teacher.
Interesting. Tell us exactly, what is Reiki?
Reiki, first of all, it's a Japanese word. The meaning of it is universal life force energy. Again, universal life force energy. There is no such word in English or in Hebrew. But if you look at the word ki, it's the energy, just like in Tai Chi in Chinese or prana in Hindu. Right. So Reiki is a universal life force energy.
So with acupuncture, they talk about chi or ki.
Exactly.
It's the same energy?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
What happens is when you get to go for the first level, you get attuned into the energy. The master attune you. There's a special process that goes with it. You learn about the hand position. You learn how to work with it. And you start to work on yourself with Reiki. The first level is about healing yourself. Unless you heal yourself and take care of yourself and work on yourself, how can you heal others?
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
It's very, very powerful. So with Reiki, as I started to work on myself, I started to feel the benefit, how it's working, and the energy started to increase in my hands. Because the energy comes through the person. We are channels. The life force energy keeps streaming through us the whole time. Everybody has it. I mean, how many people are really conscious about it?
Right.
You spoke about conventional medicine.
Right.
People will know that they have the choice to come to you as a chiropractor or to come to somebody who does holistic work and benefit from it. And even if they have to go through conventional medicine, because you can collaborate with Reiki, anything.
Combine it, right?
Yeah,
right.
And you can get the benefits faster.
It's interesting you talk about the life force energy. When I went to chiropractic college, there was two types of energy that was part of our philosophy course for chiropractic. The first was called universal energy, or universal intelligence, which is the energy that holds the whole universe together.
Absolutely.
And the second energy that we studied was called innate intelligence, the energy within the body that keeps the body vital, that keeps it alive. And we had an instructor who once said, what's the difference between this package of chopped meat and your hand? And everybody didn't know what the answer was. Oh, that one is a dead animal. And he said to us, well, what makes that dead and that alive? The energy within our bodies, our innate intelligence, the chi, whatever it is that keeps us alive and in tune with our universe, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you see it when we get on a physical level, you get a cut. So the body has the intelligence how to heal it. This is part of it. You get a cold. I mean, I'm coming out of a cold. The body has the mechanism to heal itself. With Reiki, once you learn Reiki, you can amplify the energy. You can direct the energy.
Right.
And the energy has its own intelligence to take, let's say I have my shoulder is hurting. Let's say I'm raking my shoulder, but maybe the reason my shoulder is hurting is because there is some stuck energy somewhere else that pushing towards, as you call it in chiropractic, subluxation.
Subluxation,
Subluxation. Yep. It's so connected. So
it's funny because I have had patients come up to, I've been in practice 32 years, as you know, and I've
You're
had
the best.
Thank you. And I've had patients come up to me, hugging me, kissing me, thanking me, saying, thank you for healing me. And my response is to them is, well, thank you very much, but I didn't heal you. I unblocked the channels by correcting the subluxation so the nerves could communicate to your body correctly, and your brain's innate intelligence can then know how to heal your body. Absolutely. What you do with Reiki is very similar, right? You're unblocking blocked energy, so the own innate intelligence of that person can make them healthier, correct?
Absolutely. And Reiki works on all levels. It works on the physical, on the emotional, mental. It works on the psychological, perceptual. It works on all levels. It really much works on before we even came to Earth, you know, or things that happened to us in the womb. It works on every level. The Akashic records. It goes all the way back to soul energy.
So this is really old.
Oh yes, yes.
Who founded Reiki? Who started it?
Dr. Ushui was a medical doctor. He was
in Japan, right?
In Japan, obviously. He's a Japanese name,
right.
Dr. Ushui. And one day, one of his students asked him, how come Jesus could lay hands on people and heal them? He couldn't understand the phenomena. How could it be? I mean, we're studying conventional medicine, alternative medicine, but how come a person can lay hands? And he very much referred to Jesus' stories in the New Testament. Dr. Ushui didn't know what to answer. So he took 10 years out of his life researching to find out the reason and the way and why Jesus could lay hands on people. He spent time in India, he spent time in Tibet, he studied different modalities until one time he was just about to give up. And this was like the end of this 10 years. He went up the mountain and he was so broken. I mean, 10 years, it's a long time to look for something. And he was sitting for 3 days meditating, fasting. I think actually, sorry, it was more than this. It was 3 weeks he was meditating and fasting. And just about, he was just about to let go, he spoke about a beam of light that hit his forehead and all these amazing symbols came to him. And this is where it opened up his system to receive the gift of healing, and he brought it back to the planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some people, I've heard from some people that, or they think that Reiki is a religion. Is Reiki a religion?
No. Reiki is a universal life force. It doesn't matter what is your religion, what race, nothing. It's a pure energy that we all, you know, being washed by. Once we get to know about it more, be conscious, know how to use it, we can really do amazing things with it. And it's a preventional medicine as well. You can use Reiki, for example. I had to go 3 years ago to a surgery. I send Reiki. You can send Reiki in absentia to different places because energy travels through times and space. So you can heal things in the past, you can heal things from today, you can heal things in the future. So if somebody goes to a surgery, you send Reiki to the time that you're going to have a surgery, and the energy is there waiting for you and helping you to go through the surgery much more faster, healing faster, and you recuperate much better.
Okay. All right, so that's a little beyond me, so I'm going to ask you a little to explain that a little clearer. But before you explain that clearer, what did you have to do to become a Reiki master? What other educational requirements? Is there training? How did that happen?
It's I'm talking about traditional Reiki. That's the beginning of Reiki. They call it traditional Reiki. I went to Reiki level 1. It was a full weekend, a lot of study about the energy, how to facilitate it. You get attuned, and you learn all the hand position. To do it on yourself, this is like, for example, first hand position, second hand position, third. You go over your body, and you bring the energy to all around your body. It works on the chakras. You learn about the chakras. So this is first level. Second level, you learn the kanjis, and if the camera will show you later, you can see the symbols in Japanese, and each symbol has a meaning. So when you become a Reiki level 2, you learn all these symbols beside the symbol of the master on Reiki level 3, and you use the symbol. It works on the emotional body, and it works on Reiki in absentia, which means, for example, my mother was sick in Israel. I send Reiki to her in Israel, and the energy travels, just like thoughts, just like feelings. It's all energy.
So could you kind of like show the audience or show me how you would do that? Like your body positions, do you keep your eyes closed? Are you thinking about a certain person, or do you actually have to make it travel? How does that work?
It's a very good question. It depends on the circumstance. For example, let's say I'm going to give a Reiki to a person who come to my home. I have the Reiki bed.
Right.
So I prepare the room, I Reiki the room, I combine and collaborate different things. I call upon the archangels, I call upon the masters and guides. I ask for, the presence to be there. So, and to do it for the highest good. I totally take myself out of it. I become a channel for the energy. The energy comes through me. There is no personal or emotional involvement about the healing that's going on. I became a vessel for it.
So are you just trying to grab this energy and channel it, or are you like actually like praying and praying to God and asking God for help, when you're doing this? Is it a combination of it?
I have my own inner process every morning when I do my spiritual part, my religious part for me. So I always call upon the guidance and ask God for His help. And I always get guidance if I'm supposed to do healing on somebody. Sometimes a person has to go through a lesson and you are not supposed to help them. They have to go through the test.
Right.
So you always ask permission if what is God's will.
Right.
It's very important.
Right. It's interesting you should say that because in being in practice 32 years, many times patients will see me with my hands on them as I'm about to adjust them, and my eyes are closed. And for many, many years, I've asked God to help me before I deliver that adjustment. Just give me a little bit of help. This patient needs it. Please help me do this as best I can. And that may sound weird to a lot of people, but guess what? I've heard from many surgeons that operate on people. They say to me, I prayed that night that what I did would work, and I hope that they heal. So so it's not just alternative doctors that ask God for help or say prayers that the body heals, because even surgeons realize that they don't heal the patient.
You're saying something so amazing. We are in service to God. By helping other people to heal and get better, we are helping God. We're helping creation. We're helping the planet. Right. We do meditations where we send healing energy to the planet. You can Reiki flowers, you can Reiki trees, you can Reiki your animals, your pets. You can Reiki anything. It's so beautiful to know. For example, my son got level 1 when he was about 3 years old, and he went to preschool, and he came back and he said, "Mom, somebody stopped on an ant, and I was raking it, and she got better." It was amazing. Really? Because they feel it. Children are very open to Reiki, and I think more children will learn Reiki. It will help them to be more calm at school, more concentrating, more confident in themselves. There's so many benefits for doing Reiki.
So a question I have is, I think you answered. I was going to ask you, what is Reiki good for? What can it heal?
Reiki, you see, it's all up to God what a person's supposed to go through and what healing the person's supposed to get. So if somebody come and say to you, oh, I healed this person and I did, that's an ego. For example, John of God, which is the master medium healer, one of the best, if not the best one alive on earth. I just came back from Brazil, from the Casa. He said something, and there is about over 40 million people went to John of God to be healed and get help. He said that he never healed anybody. Only God heals. But we are facilitators. We are channels of light, bring the Reiki. And Reiki can heal anything. I mentioned a little bit the physical level, emotional level, mental body, psychological, perceptual, spiritual. It works on any levels, on any disease.
What has been one or a couple of your most amazing Reiki results? The condition and the result.
That's a very strong question. I think every Reiki story that I lay hand on people was very unique. Sometimes there was more energy and more attendance of angels if the story was heavy. For example, we did healing on a lady who was just scheduled on Thursday to have, she had a breast cancer. So she came for help, and the master that was working with her to try to find in another modality the reason why it's there. Meanwhile, everybody was doing Reiki on her body. We were a group of masters working on her. And my angels guided me to clean her aura right underneath the right side of her body. And I kept pulling out things and pulling whatever was there energetically. And the master that gave us the instruction, everybody do hands-on healing, she turned to me and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "That's what my angels told me to do." Lo and behold, I was so moved by it because on Thursday when she went there, there was nothing there.
Right.
And the reason...
What do you mean there was nothing there?
She was totally healed. There was no tumor in her breast. There was nothing. The reason I was led by my angels to clean her energy, because before it transforms, any disease, before it transforms into the physical body, it's an energy. So by removing from her aura the source, the core of this disease, you know, the cancer.
So she was diagnosed with breast cancer already?
Yes.
Through mammograms, testing?
Everything. She was about to go have it on Thursday.
Okay, and when you say there was nothing there, you mean you're not talking about a new mammogram or a new test?
They did another test right before, you know, and they said they don't see anything.
So it was a repeat mammogram, the tumor was gone?
Yes.
Amazing, amazing.
But what I'm trying to say is something very important. You asked me something about one of the best, one of them that jumped to my mind right now. Before anything translates into physical disease, it starts in the energy field. We have an aura. So by cleaning our aura and keeping our aura shield, we can prevent so many things to come into our aura. Right.
Well, I mean, that holds true with many different healthcare disciplines.
Absolutely.
I mean, even in the chiropractic field, we take care of babies, we take care of newborns, and we even take care of people on a maintenance basis, even though they're not physically in pain or have problems, as a preventative, prophylactic way to ensure that that innate intelligence from their brain flows through their body and communicates at 100%, not 80 or not 70, because they say, statistically, that before the traditional medical diagnostic tests can detect a problem, let's say in an organ, that organ is already 40 to 50% failed already.
Oh, wow.
It can function at 70, 75, and it might not show up on a lab test. It might not show up on a sonogram. But because the patient these tests are not sensitive enough to pick it up when it only goes down 5%. So it makes a heck of a lot of sense to keep our bodies 100% as close to that as we can throughout our lives, even before we come down with physical symptoms.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, once you do Reiki to somebody, or even when you adjust somebody, the healing is still working on them once they left home.
Oh, absolutely.
It's still staying with them. It's so amazing because, for example, you saw my kids since they were little. We came 3 times a week for a reason. You healed my daughter's back by adjusting her. She had a major thing on her back. If we didn't follow up with your instructions to do it, you know, we couldn't get the benefits.
So I've heard that you Reiki food, water, other things other than people. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Can you Reiki my water? No.
I already did.
Oh, thank
when
you.
you gave us the water.
And
I asked for coffee.
And so what are you doing? When you're doing that?
It's amazing. Water has memory. So by the time you get the water, it comes in your big bottle at your work, or it comes through the pipes, and you put the Brita, and it still have memory. So you want to uplift the level, the vibration of the water, so you won't drink somebody stress on the way, or wherever pipes it went through. It might sound kind of crazy. For example, there is this great Japanese doctor who took pictures. He spoke to the water different things, and then he froze the water, and then he took pictures of the molecule. For example, when he spoke the word love to the water, and then he froze it, and he took the water frozen, and he looked at the picture, there were formation of snow, like snowflakes.
Wow. In
different beautiful shapes. He spoke faith to the water, and frozen. It was another symbol, different formation of it looks like snowflakes, but they all have different design to them.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke to the water the word Hitler. Mm-hmm. It was a mercury, ugly, disgusting, black and yellow. Mm-hmm. So water retains memory. So I Reiki the water. There's two benefits. First is rising the vibration of the water. Even my coffee, even my food. You go to a restaurant, if the cook is very mad, he had a bad morning, you're getting all the stress from this cook inside your food. So I always Reiki the food and bless it and ask God to bless it and make it good for us. I Reiki the water to raise the vibration. Mm-hmm. We just, as I mentioned before, I went to Brazil the second time to see John of God, and there is a waterfall there. And only by permission we can go there. So it's a small waterfall, but the vibration and the strength of the water is so powerful. Wow. There is attendance of angels and masters and guide there. And once you go into the waterfall to let go, it cleanses you. Yeah.
On part 2 of our show, we're going to talk more about John of God, your
right.
recent trip that you went to, the different healings that you've seen him do and stuff like that. But what I like to do right now is I like to let the audience know that you're also a musician, a singer. You write all of your own music, beautiful music, I've heard. And that if you look on the desk here, these are all the CDs.
This is some of them. I have
well, some of them, but many different CDs that she's recorded with her own music, healing music. So if it's okay with you, with your permission, I'd like to play a little bit of this music now.
Okay.
And as it's playing in the background, I'd like you to just do some Reiki on my hand. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. Let's try it. Let's hear the music.
You know,
I want the audience to see what it looks like.
call upon it. And my hands start to get red. You can see my hands start to get red. The energy start to get strong. And I ask permission. And what I do, I don't even have to hold Dr. Dow's hand, but in this occasion I am, because the energy travels through time and space, I can just send the energy. And it will get them. Like when you have good thoughts about somebody, you send the energy, they feel it. When you're in love, the whole world looks so beautiful. It's all energy. As I'm doing this, I'm calling the symbols. One of the first symbol is Choco Ray, which means God is here. Second level Reiki is Honsha Ze Shonen, Seheki. I always bring all the symbols I know. And of course, the master symbol is Daikomyo. I will show on the chart. And I just let the energy flow. Sometimes I get visions where I see what's in the physical or the energetic field, what's happening there. I did once healing energy on somebody in a distance, and I told the person he must go back to the hospital because he had torn quite few ligaments and muscles.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, the person had to go back, went back, did the surgery, and he recovered.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the energy too that comes out from your hands.
I feel warmth when you do that.
You're taking a lot of energy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Wow. And I have very arthritic wrists from adjusting for 32 years, and I tell you, it actually feels much better. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank God.
Please tell the audience how to contact you, if your email address or your phone number.
My name is Kemi Nahal. I'm an officiant as well, just officiant a beautiful wedding. My website is theangelsflight.com, theangelsflight.com, or you can email me at theangelsflight@hotmail.com. I'm interfaith minister. I was ordained with two different interfaith ministries, Melchizedek and High Priesthood of Melchizedek, and the Interfaith Esoteric Theological Seminary. I perform different ceremonies. I'm a performing artist. I'm coming out with my 12th new CD, which is unbelievable, very Kabbalistic, very holy, and that's it.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
For those of you watching us on Madhouse TV, we'll be right back. For those of you on Cablevision, we'll see you next time. Remember one thing, if what you want is real wealth, join us next time on The Bridge to Health. If you're watching us on Madhouse TV, stand by. We'll be right back. If you're watching us on Cablevision, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Finally, the time has come. You no longer have to choose between conventional medicine and alternative medicine. Today, unlike years past, your team of doctors from all disciplines are working together side by side for the benefit of you, the patient, to help you regain your health and cross the bridge.
If you're watching...
Walker of the New York Jets, former All-Pro wide receiver. You're watching Bridge to Health at Madhousetv.com.
Finally, the time has come. You no longer have to choose between conventional medicine and alternative medicine. Today, unlike years past, your team of doctors from all disciplines are working together side by side for the benefit of you, the patient, to help you regain your health and cross the bridge.
Hello and welcome back to the Bridge to Health. My name is Dr. Tom Dow, and each week we have a special guest in a different healthcare discipline, sometimes conservative, sometimes alternative, who we work with when necessary to help you, the patient, to give you the best combination of treatment options available. And again, when I say options, I mean we make recommendations as what we think could help you, but it's always up to you, the patient, to educate yourself, understand what these different disciplines do, and then you make the choice based on what you've seen. That's another purpose of my show each week, is to educate you as to what each discipline does, what they don't do, and what the advantages are of using certain types of treatment as opposed to others. But again, giving you the option. I'd like to welcome back Kemi Nahal, also known as Dear Spirit. Welcome back again.
Thank you
Our
so
first
much.
show was awesome on Reiki.
We only touched a few drops.
And we only, I know, just a few things, but we're going to expand on that more now for part B of our special on Reiki. Again, you are a Reiki master, correct?
Yes, master teacher.
Master and teacher of Reiki. And on the last show, we talked about what Reiki is, how you use energy and channel energy and block energy to get people's own innate healing ability working better, similar to the energy of acupuncture, the Qi. Today, what I'd like to do is I'd like to speak a little more about your recent trip.
All right.
Tell us about your recent trip, where you went, what you did, and why you went there.
All right. I went second time to Brazil. Actually, it's Brasilia, center of Brazil, to a town called Abadiânia. And John of God is a medium healer, psychic healer. He has an amazing gift where he channels over 30 light beings who come through him.
Channel over what?
30 light beings.
Light beings that come through him.
Come through him. He got the gift since he was a little kid and discovered more about it. And he's been healing. I'm saying healing because he always said he never healed anybody. God is the healer. You know, over 40 million people went to him. Oprah Winfrey went there and did a documentary movie about him.
Oprah went there.
Yes, it's on YouTube.
And she did a documentary.
Yes,
Wow.
it's fascinating. There's an amazing movie called Healing, which is available online. Somebody did a movie about John of God, and there's different people talks about the experience and the healing. It's a very powerful place. The casa where John of God does the healing is based on a mine of crystals.
Based on what?
A crystal's mine.
A mine, a crystal mine. It's
Yeah.
on top of that?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's a vortex of light, which allow him, because of that, to do psychic surgeries, which means there is no anesthesia, there is no pain, there is no bleeding. You can see healings on YouTube, and I saw it right in front of me how John of God comes out. Sometimes he brings the patients out, and makes the incision,
What does he make the incision with?
a knife,
Okay.
makes the incision, takes something out, sew it. The person is alive.
And there's no bleeding.
There is no pain, no anesthesia, no bleeding, and very much so, never was there even one recording of infection. He does.
And you saw that
I
personally?
saw it in front of me, and you can see it on YouTube. People took videos, and then they asked people to stop doing that. And many scientists and doctors try to investigate and try to understand this phenomenon. There is no way they can really describe it. I mean, a regular doctor says that he's a surgeon. Anytime they have to prescribe antibiotic, once they open the body. There is no need for antibiotic when you go to John of God. You do get herbs, and the herbs are based on, it's passion flowers. Once John of God see a picture or the person picture or look at the picture, he get information from God. He charge the passion flower with the specific energy to heal the person. So if I have a certain need for something, it's the same passion flower, but it's totally different energy in it to heal me for what my needs are. So it's just incredible.
So you went there. How long were you there for in Brazil?
I went for 2 weeks.
Tell us about what it was like there.
It's
Where did you sleep? Where did you stay? Who you meet?
We stayed last year. I went there as well. I've been in touch with John of God Healing, and I saw John of God in Omega 3 years ago. It's about almost over 12 years I've been in touch with John of God. And I stayed with Heather Cumming. She's his right-handed. She's his translator. She is his helper. She travels with him around the world to do healing because he travels. He just came to Omega last month.
Where's Omega?
Omega is in Rhinebeck
Okay.
Institute. Omega Institute in Rhinebeck. It's upstate New York.
Uh-huh.
And she has her own hotel there. The food is unbelievable. It's all organic, natural, and very rich in vegetables and fruits and exotic fruits. And you can go on her website, is healingquests.com. You can get all the information. And you can go for a week or you can go for 2 weeks. Because it's such a big trip, it's better to go for 2 weeks.
So you're there for 2 weeks. You get off a plane. You go.
I went with my son, too. I took him.
Oh, he
wanted
went
to
with
come.
you?
Yeah, he went with me.
Wow. How did he like it?
He was a little bit in shock in the beginning because it was 92 at night. There was no AC.
And you were sleeping without air conditioning? And
He has his own air conditioning room in spite of the fact that we have a central AC here. We are very spoiled here. But it took him a few days just to adjust. But as soon as we got here, he was already receiving a lot of energy for his own healing. And you feel it. I mean, the energy is just so powerful.
So you get up the next day. What did you do?
The first day, because there's new people who've never been there, you get an orientation. They show you around. They give you different things that you can do. You can choose to do a crystal bed. You can choose to do a massage.
What's a crystal bed?
Crystal bed is a bed that John of God designed. Has 7 crystals. I mean, it's not going to look like this one, but they're cut in a certain way, and there is 7 chakras, major chakras in our body. So there is 7 chakras, 7 crystals, and each one has a different frequency, different vibration, and different color. And you attach it to electricity, and you lie down, and the healing pulse that you get are cleaning your chakras, your electromagnetic field.
While you sleep?
No, the session can be for 20 minutes or 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I got the permission, the privilege from John of God to have one. I brought it with me, and soon it's going to be available for the public to receive healing. It's just amazing.
You have one at your home?
I just brought one, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You sleep on that, or you just go on for 20 minutes?
You go, I mean...
It's like a therapy.
It's a therapy. You do it for 40 minutes, 3 times a week if you need. Sometimes you can do 20 minutes. But you start on a very slow pulsing. And this is where I keep it. I don't want to go high because you want people to give them the time to heal and open up. When you go to colonics, it cleanses you from inside. The same thing with the vibration from the crystals. The way John of God designed it really helped people to clear all stuck energies. And the chakras are wheels of life. So it works on all levels at the same time. It's beautiful.
And so you go there, you wake up the next day, you get an orientation. You can either lay on the crystal bed or have a massage. What else?
And then we did go to the waterfalls.
What?
Only by permission you can go to the waterfall because the energy is so intense there. I mean, it's just a small waterfall. It's maybe that size. And once you go there, you pray. We ask you to be quiet. You can see blue butterflies and big butterflies. The energy there is just beyond. And the entities, the masters, are there where the waterfall. So when you go underneath the waterfall the first time, beside this, the water is so cold. You feel like you're catching your breath when you go inside. So
Right.
you go in the first time to let go of whatever you are ready to let go. You get out, you catch your breath, and you go again. And this time you let the light go through and fill you up. Because anytime you take something out, you want to bring something higher in. Because you don't want to create a void in any healing. You know, we take things out and we bring the light to fill the person and be embraced by this beautiful energy.
Then what?
And then what?
Dinner?
Then John of God is
Cable
there.
TV?
No, there wasn't TV. No TV, no radio, which was fantastic.
No casinos?
No,
Okay.
not my thing.
So you just meditate or pray?
Yeah, and we did meditations. And then John of God comes, and John of God works on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's the 3 days that he's healing. There's thousands of people each day. Could
Thousands
be 2,000
of-
3,000 people.
Where does he work at? Does he have an office? Does he have a room? Where does he do this work?
The casa has few different currents. Current is a big space where people sit and they can sit in meditation and still receive the healing. You have to understand it's an entity of light that walk
So
with.
do they actually see him there, or is he somewhere
Yes.
else sending
Yes,
the energy?
Yes. He's there. Once the entity, for example, Dr. Dominaggio was his mentor. When he comes through him, he operates in a certain way or certain things. Or Dr. Augusto, depends who comes through, he's a medium. Who comes through him, this is what the healing will take place for the specific time. So John of God goes for 4 days of meditation, then 3 days he operates more than one hospital. Doing months he can do in 1 day. Because it's not just...
I'm sorry, say that again? More than what?
John of God, when he does those healing,
Right.
there is beings of light, there is angels, there is all these masters. Could be thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands. Beings of light comes and they facilitate all this energy and they do the healing for the people. You can ask for 9 things to be healed every time you sit in current. Current is a flow of light energy flowing through the place. I sat for 4.5 hours in meditation. I put things on my list. For example, last year, I had, if you remember, you were taking care of my back and it was still, shooting through my legs. So I had the sciatica. I had things, let's say, with my digestion. I put 9 things. I was sitting there and suddenly I felt something pushing my back, ding, ding, ding. And lo and behold, I got adjusted just sitting there,
Wow. So let me ask you a question. While you were just sitting there, were you by yourself in a room, or there's hundreds of people around you?
Okay. There is an entrance room where people sit there, and there is a long path of people waiting to be seen by John of God. And then when you enter into the second room, it's another room where there is rows of people sitting in meditation. Once they sit in meditation, they are holding the energy and supporting others and getting healing by themselves. It's another current. And then there is another room, because you're walking through the room, another big room which is closer to where John of God sits. When you come to see John of God, we've been asked to look at his eyes, because he can see through everything, whatever is happening.
Did you look in his eyes?
Absolutely.
And what did he say?
The first time I remember I saw John of God, I was in awe. I just felt love, like there was nothing else but love and light. And you feel so uplifted, so there is no judgment, there is no criticism, it's just totally, you feel like the presence of God is right there. It's just it's so amazing, So when you come there, you look at him. I remember the first time, I never knew that people can hold his hand and kiss his hand. It's the first thing I did. I reached for his hand and I kissed his hand and I thanked him for the healing. 3 years ago when I saw him in Omega, this is the first time I saw him physically. If it's okay, I can share my healing story. I had 3, if you remember, I had the 3 fibroids.
Yes, I
It was
remember,
11 centimeter, 9 and 7, and for 2 years I went to doctors, and tried to do the right thing with conventional doctors, they all scared me. They said there's no way they can operate because it's too attached to the walls. It's not going to be okay. And I was bleeding a lot. It was very scary. So I went to Omega and I
was working on you too at that time.
You were working on me. You're amazing help. I mean, you're holding me emotionally too because it's for any woman, it's very scary to go through such thing.
Sure.
And I went to see John of God and I asked for the healing and I received my spiritual intervention. He wasn't allowed to do surgeries physically in Omega because America won't allow it. But still, I received my healing, and many people received their healing. I mean, there was 3,000 people, over 3,000 people each day came to see John of God.
3,000?
And all of them received the healing they needed, they were open to, and there were so many people volunteering to facilitate and help. And then you have to take care of yourself for 40 days. First time you have a surgery. You take care of it for 40 days, you are taking the herbs, you're drinking the waters from John of God, which is a very high vibration water, and no spicy food and no non-organic eggs. And you just take care of yourself the first week as if you really had a physical. I literally felt like I had a physical surgery. And when I was done after the 7 days, I put a glass of water next to my bed. I dress up all in white. They call it the white night. I thank for the healing, and in the morning I drank the water. I went the following week to the gynecologist who was helping me at the time, and he did a sonogram, and there was nothing there.
Wow.
I was like in such an awe. I was so happy, and so I'm grateful to get to know John of God, and I want to help other people, you know, with my work. That's why I brought the crystal bed, because I know it'd be so beneficial combining it with. People come for Reiki, they come for chiropractor. There is more help from the divine for us to feel better and get better. Right. I don't think God wants us to hurt. God wants us to give us the best. Right. It's us when we are getting into our ego and closing ourselves and thinking wrong because of life experiences that we had. That
well, every week on our show, we try to explain to the audience how we work on a principle in our offices, which is called the Wheel of Health. And the Wheel of Health has 5 spokes. If you have a wheel and all the spokes are tight, the wheel rolls totally straight. It doesn't wobble. Mm-hmm. If one spoke becomes loose, the wheel starts to wobble. That wobbling will cause other spokes to weaken until eventually all the spokes become weak because the wheel's not working right, and then the wheel stops to roll at all. And again, the 5 spokes are proper nervous system function from the brain down out to the body, proper mental attitude, exercise, rest, and proper nutrition. So what you're saying, and we say it every week, is that if you're not right here, nothing else can be right. And,
stress.
And again,
the stress of
the everyday life, stress of everyday life, especially in New York. We're running from here to there, from here to there, from here to there. And which is probably why most people who live down south or out west, they don't really like New Yorkers too much because we're in such a hurry all the time when we go out there.
What are we running for?
And they're like, what's wrong with this person? They're psychotic. Why don't they slow down? It's because of the stressful life we are exposed to here in New York. And that stress is one of the spokes, which now weakens the other spokes. Which is why what you do and what all the other healthcare providers do is so important to keep those spokes tight and find ways to eliminate that stress.
Absolutely.
You know. How does Reiki work on stress? Does it help people who are anxious, have a lot of anxiety, are nervous, they just can't sleep at night? Does this help? Reiki help this?
Absolutely. For example, you can sit down just to do a little bit. I do teach breathing exercise and meditations as well. And you can bring the Reiki into you. Let's say you're Reiki level 1. You bring the Reiki into you and you sit, you close your eyes, and you distress, even for 10 minutes. Even when you're at work, you have your lunch break for half an hour. You take 10 minutes just to breathe. You just inhale the light. Even if you don't know Reiki, just inhale the light of God. Consciously say to yourself, I'm sitting here for 10 minutes just to relax. 10 minutes, inhale the God's light, hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, and exhale. When you exhale, just drop your shoulders and let it go. And do it for a few minutes. You feel so much better. Go outside on your lunch break and hug a tree. This is simple. It is trees.
Can you feel energy on the trees?
Absolutely. I see the auras of trees and people as well. You know, sometimes God wants me to see more. Sometimes I see certain things. I see angels. It's all around us. And all the stress that we have and negative, you know, things that we go through the day, we meet people, there is bills to pay, there is, like you are moving to a new home, there's so much demand. When you go to nature, it's the best place to heal, because whatever stress or negative energy or low vibration we have, it's food for the trees. They love it. They recycle it and make it better, you know, for the earth.
They take our stress?
Absolutely. That's why when you go to a nature walk, you come back home, you feel all refreshed. And besides, there is entities in nature, in the valleys. They take care of the trees, they take care of the animals, they take care of the beauty of the place, of the earth. So when you go there, you're being embraced by divine. Doesn't cost money.
Yeah, right? The price is right.
Yeah, and just hugging a tree, it feels so good, because trees has an intelligence. They can see, and plants too, they can see our aura, and they can see our energies, and they can know when somebody is good or somebody is bad. So that it's beneficial to be in nature. So many people are so much in the office, or even going to the beach. The prana, the chi, is so strong by the waters. You know, you have amazing cycle, they call it in Hindu prana, the earth, the water, and the human, and it's real.
So I think what I'm trying to get out of this, and what I think really what you're trying to communicate, is that all of our senses, our smell, our hearing from your healing music, the things we feel in our environment, the things we see, the things we touch, they all can have healing effects on us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Interesting.
Impressions, you know, you can sit by the beach and you feel great. I mean, if you're going to get sunburn, you won't feel the best. But if you go afternoon, you go in the morning, or you're just sitting there, just breathing, breathe energy. You see, when in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, he spoke that God, when he created Adam, he breathed into Adam. This is a phenomenon. Just think about every breath we take. It's God's breath. So when you do it consciously, I'm breathing God's energy, I'm breathing God's being, God's presence is within me all the time. All the gifts, all the things that you spoke about, that we have our, the power to heal, are within us.
Right.
We just have to get attuned to and open up and remember the things that we knew before we came here.
Right. So if our audience wants more information about you and what you do, they can contact theangelsflight.com?
Yes.
That's your website?
Yes.
Excellent. And if they want to speak to you directly, is there a phone number they can call you? Or?
Sure, if they want. Yeah, it's 631-575-8266. Again, 631-575-8266. You can call me. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and we can schedule a meeting where we see where you're at and what would you like to do.
Right.
And you're very welcome to, you know, whatever I can do to help.
Cami, I want to thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
once again, great information, very interesting, and we'll have you back again in the future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ben.
So I'd like to sum up today with, sometimes we don't know why things work. That does not mean they don't work. And a perfect example is the common aspirin. Okay? Medical science has no idea biochemically how an aspirin works on your brain to help pain. It's never been discovered, but they know it works. And they still use it. So just because we don't understand how something works doesn't mean that it doesn't work. And my philosophy is, if it doesn't hurt, we might as well try something to help you, the patient. Once again, thank you for watching our show, and we'll see you next time. And remember one thing, if what you want is real wealth, join us next time on The Bridge to Health. Watching us on Madhouse TV, stand by. We'll be right back. If you're watching us on Cablevision, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Finally, the time has come. You no longer have to choose between conventional medicine and alternative medicine. Today, unlike years past, your team of doctors from all disciplines are working together side by side for the benefit of you, the patient, to help you regain your health and cross the bridge.
If you want.